my first video, A Gift, I talked about a vision that I was given of my death, what death is, and then heaven. I had not been sick, I wasn't ill, I hadn't been injured, I wasn't near death, and I didn't die. What I experienced was from God. Now you might say that's some claim. How do I know that it wasn't just a dream? Well, those are good questions. Have you ever heard of a paraplegic getting up and walking after a dream? No, this was no dream. I don't believe that God gave me all of these things just for me, because none of it has been just about me. It's been for my grandson, for my wife, my family, so that I can take care of them better, for my friends, for people that I meet, for you. And that's what this video is about. It's important to understand that God speaks to each one of us in His own way. It's one-on-one and personal. That's why it's called a personal relationship with God. God wants all of us to understand His message and not fear it. God speaks to me different than He does anyone else. Doesn't mean that I'm special. I'm just different from everyone else, just like you're different from everyone else. None of us are the same as anyone else. We're individuals, and God speaks to us individually. That's why I believe children see God and see heaven in innocence, through the eyes of a child. But adults, what we look at, what we experience God and heaven, we see through the eyes of the world, through logic, reason, questions, doubts. But whoever and however God speaks to you, it is a gift from God to you. No two gifts are ever the same. So what did I experience? Well, heaven. If I knew every word, every language, ever spoken, past, present, and future, I still wouldn't have the words to really describe heaven. No matter how great a job I could do at describing it, I would be infinitely lacking in my description of what heaven really is and how great it is. It's impossible to explain something in physical terms, using physical images, a physical language where physical doesn't exist. When we die, our body, and our soul, our spirit, they separate. Our body goes to the grave, and our soul, our spirit, is in the presence of God. I saw my death. I saw it and I felt it. It's an empty, black void where nothing physical exists. There's no sight, there's no sounds, no feelings, not even time. Nothing. And that's when I saw heaven. The first thing that I saw and felt was this unbelievable, beautiful light that's filled with God's love. And that light, it fills you. It's a perfect light, a perfect love, like nothing that I have ever felt before. God's light isn't something that you just see. It doesn't just shine on you, it shines in you, it's through you, it fills you up. God's love isn't measured in teaspoons, it's poured out by gallons. The light I saw was pure white with a little bit of a blue tint. It wasn't painful to look at. When I was in it, I didn't hurt. All the pain, all the sorrow, all the sadness that I had felt all my life was gone. I wasn't afraid of it. God's light is warm, it's loving, it's inviting. His light's strength is its love, its compassion, and its power is its gentleness. The ability to lift you up no matter how low you think you are. And there was so much joy, so much happiness. There was no pain, no suffering or sadness. There was none of that. It just love. Pure, perfect, never-ending love. As human beings, we can't begin to grasp the idea of perfect anything. We understand what good is. We got a pretty good grasp on what great is, but not perfect. Because no matter how good or how great we think something is, it still isn't perfect. I looked all around, and way off out in the distance, there was this black line, like a horizon line. And you could travel forever in any direction, and you would never be outside of that light. You'd never be outside God's love. You'd never reach that light, or that horizon line. You'd never make it there. It's just heaven goes on and on forever and ever and ever. Beneath me, I looked down and I saw this deep blue sea of glass. But I wasn't walking on it. It's like a window. God can look down onto the earth, but here on earth we can't look up into heaven. There were wisps of misty cloud, like real light. Not a fog. It wasn't cold or uncomfortable. It wasn't eerie. It was just wisps of like clouds that it floated above that sea of blue. Now, I've never heard golden harps or heavenly choirs of angels, but the most beautiful music I have ever heard is that old-time Southern gospel, just a couple of people sitting out on the porch with some guitars, people sitting around singing songs like How Great Thou Art, The Old Rugged Cross. Music with soul, music that's alive, that says something, that spoke something, it made you feel something. It lived in you. There were others there. I couldn't actually see physical bodies. But I could feel them, and I could feel their love. I don't know their names. I don't know if anybody in heaven really has names as we understand. I couldn't tell if they were people who had died and then come up to heaven, or if they were souls waiting to be born into the babies here on earth, God's children. Their ideas, different thoughts about all that, but I don't know. I felt the love that they shared with me, and I shared with them. That love shared by all of God's children, and we are all God's children. We are God's family. I knew they were there, and that they loved me, and I loved them. And that's what heaven is. Love. Pure, perfect, unconditional love. No strings. Never ending. Never restrained. Never rationed. And never withheld. It flows out of God like a river overflows its banks. That's what I was shown. God's love. And that is heaven. I'm going to be making more videos about each of the visions that I have had since January of 2016. So I hope that you'll come back. I hope that you will get in touch. I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Thank you.